What's up, guys? Ninth Jim here, back with another VGC 2020 Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive video. Today we're talking about Alolan Persian, the Alolan version of Persian. This Pokemon's pretty interesting. It has some really cool things that it can do. It has a lot of really good support moves, some pretty solid stats, a really good ability, and a pretty solid typing. So overall, this Pokemon's pretty cool. It's seeing a little bit of play in VGC 2020. It saw a little bit back in 2017 when it was announced, or like the year that it was brought in. And the Pokemon's pretty cool in general, so let's get into it. So, dark typing, we have immunity psychic. Can I talk? Immunity to psychic, which is pretty good. 2 resistances, ghost and dark, overall pretty good. Both of those are very prevalent in the meta. Weaknesses, fighting, bug, and fairy. Fighting and fairy are both very big in the meta, and worth being a little afraid of. But overall, like, we're not that bad. We have pretty solid bulk, like not great bulk, but like it's not the worst. It's not good, actually. Like, it's not that good, but physical bulk is pretty good because of our ability. We have the ability for a coat, which gives us double physical defense. Essentially, it just has the damage of physical moves to this Pokemon. Very, very good stuff there. And then other than that, we have some okay stats. So stats: HP 65. Pretty average, not amazing. Defense 60, pretty average, not amazing, but double. So 120, really 120, pretty good. That's really good. And then special defense at 65, which is pretty average, just like our HP. Overall, not bad. I mean, special defense, like, we have a weakness with special defense. Things like Togekiss, kind of just like blow right through us, But fortunately, bug is not very big, and fighting is almost always physical. So we have some pretty, it's really just fairy that's like scary, and it's like dazzling gleam and stuff. Fairy is scary, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, we have pretty good stats across the board other than those. So special attack 75 is pretty cool, and attack 60. So there's 2 ways that you can use this Pokemon. You can use it more so, why can't I think? So you can use it more so supportively, with things like fake tears, fake out, other moves. And or you could use it like more so special attacking, sweeping, so you can use like Nasty Plot, Dark Pulse, Thunderbolt, like other coverage moves. And this Pokemon could be really cool, like either way you use it. Also, speed 115, that's pretty good. That's like a really good base speed. So maxing that out, we get a really solid speed tier, which is pretty cool. I like being fast. It's pretty cool. Anyway, that's about it for our overview. We'll go ahead and talk about the build here. So for our build, we are using support Pokemon. We're using the support version of this guy, and using moves like Fake Out, Parting Shot, and Fake Tears. That's the other move that I liked a lot, Parting Shot. So, pretty good. We have a couple of other moves that we can use as well. We'll go ahead and talk about the other stuff here first. So, mostly the item. So, the item actually is pretty wide open. You can use a lot of different items. We're going with Focus Sash. Even though we're super, super bulky defensively, there's still weakness policy Pokemon that kind of just kill us. And then also, special defense or special attacking Pokemon that just kill us. So Focus Sash, I like that. I think it's good. Even though we max in HP, don't get me wrong, like it's a weird build, right? And it's definitely a build that it's subject to change, and maybe I'll come back to this Pokemon. I'll revisit this Pokemon in the future, focusing maybe more down to like the Nasty Plot version, which we have in the single spotlight build, and we can talk about that more in the single spotlight portion of it. But for now, we're just using this as a support type Pokemon, using moves like these moves: Fake Out, Foul Play, Parting Shot, and Fake Tears. Let me finish with the item first. So we also have things like Rosalie, Oguave, and Assault Vest, a bunch of different items that you can use other than Focus Sash if you don't want to go Focus Sash. I was going Rosalie Berry initially, but then certain things like Togekiss, like max invested Togekiss, would still OHKO you with max Starfall. So I just found myself wanting to use the Focus Sash because a bunch of other moves also OHKO you, and it's just like you get the same amount of usage out of Focus Sash as you would with Rosalie Berry, but it hits more bases, if that makes sense. I know that it's weird because we max in HP, but we don't really have any attacking moves, so I don't really feel like investing into all into attack just for Fake Out. Like, that just doesn't seem that good, right? But yeah, that's why we went with Focus Sash. Into the moves. So Fake Out, Foul Play, Parting Shot, Fake Tears. So Fake Out is just good in general, like just hitting a flinch on turn 1 on a Pokemon, something like like Togekiss, some Trick Room setters, things like Katarina, Indeedee Male. You know, there's a bunch of really good like ways to hit Fake Out. You can't hit everything Fake Out. Like, it'd be cool if you could like Fake Out Dusclops, which we do have Rattled as an ability. Wait, is that right? Is that even what I'm thinking? No, that's wrong. I'm an idiot. I was thinking Scrappy as that. That would be cool, actually. Fake Out would be like really. I actually would probably go with Scrappy because then you could deny Dusclops. Maybe that's wrong though. I don't know. But it's not something we can do anyway, so it doesn't matter. We don't have to spend time thinking about it. But yeah, Fake Out's good. Foul Play, we have one here as our attacking move. It just plays off of your opponent's attack. So hitting things like Weakness Policy Tyrannosaur, Weakness Policy Rhyperior, even though they won't do a lot of damage, it'll do like some good chip damage. Like, I think against Tyrannosaur you hit like 25% of its Dynamax form, and then against Rhyperior you hit like 40 or 40 something percent of its Dynamax, which is actually really good. That's like actually really good damage after the Weakness Policy is proc though. So, you know, not like it's not gonna happen all the time, but it's like a good option to have. Other than that, we have Parting Shot and Fake Tears. Both of those are really good attacks here. Parting Shot, just being able to lower your opponent's physical attack and special attack. It's really versatile. You can use it against just about any like attacking Pokemon, and then it switches it out, so then you get a pivot, which is really good, like a free reposition essentially, and you can do it really fast. So since this Pokemon's so fast, you can Parting Shot before anything and then switch out, which is arguably better, arguably worse, but I think it's really good, depending, because if they like reposition or like switch out, like you could hit them for less, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, then next we have Fake Tears. So Fake Tears is just really good against a lot of Pokemon in the meta. We saw it was insane with like Whimsicott, Duraludon, like Whimsicott and Teleon, like earlier this format, like last format with season 2. I don't think anything's really changed. I mean, the only thing that we have is like more good dark Pokemon, like just Incineroar really. But like there's a lot of really good targets for Fake Tears. But the cool thing about this is Fake Tears. So like Fake Tears didn't work with Pokemon like that because it was Prankster, and Prankster doesn't affect dark Pokemon. But now we have this Pokemon that isn't Prankster. It's just super fast, and you can Fake Tears like a lot of Pokemon, and then use a Pokemon that's slightly slower than the Fake Tears user. So like you compare this with something like Togekiss, right? And then just like Fake Tear something, max Airstream something, kill it, and then get a huge buff, a speed buff, which is really good. And you can really get like a lot of mileage off of it. And Fake Tears, it works against a lot of Pokemon. You can like Oko, like Incineroar, that's like very specially bulky. You can probably like Fake Tears and then like max Starfall with the Togekiss and probably kill it. Like probably. I say probably because I don't know for a fact. But yeah, Fake Tears I think is really good. Some other options you can use here is like Taunt, Charm. Those are two really good moves that are very similar to Fake Tears. If you don't want to use Fake Tears, like if your team doesn't get enough mileage off of it, you can definitely switch that out with Taunt or Charm. We also have Icy Wind, which just lowers the speed of both opposing Pokemon, which is very good. And then like a fast Icy Wind user is really strong. Then we have Beat Up, which is cool with a couple of certain things. We've seen that before with like the Whimsicott and stuff like that. And this Pokemon's actually faster, so you hit a lot of things like the Arcanine or the Lucario or Terrakion during the next DLC or 2 DLCs from now. I'm not really sure. I think it's 2 DLCs from now. But yeah, Beat Up is a cool option. Then we have Snarl and Dark Pulse. So like I was saying, you can use Nasty Plot and then use moves like this. Like Snarl's obviously just a move that you can use on any set just because it's Snarl. Like it just lowers the special attack of both opposing Pokemon. It's really good. And then Dark Pulse is just our best stab dark move that you can utilize Nasty Plot with, which is really cool. So there's definitely other builds that you can use where you can use like Nasty Plot and Dark Pulse. My allergies are really bad. That's why I keep like scratching my nose. It's really bad. But yeah, so there's a lot of ways you can use this Pokemon. Anyway, onto our investments. It's pretty basic, and it's probably not the best spread, but it's just like a rough go about. You can definitely try some stuff on Pikalytics. I know there were like some more educated spreads that had like different numbers. It was weird, but I haven't tested out this Pokemon in VGC 2020 yet, so I don't know for sure what's the best. But HP 252 and then 252 into speed. I know for a fact I want to be Jolly max speed just because you want max speed on this Pokemon because it's really good. And then I went for HP, even though we have Focus Sash. Maybe it's not right. Maybe you want to go like special attacking with Snarl and Dark Pulse instead and then go into special attack. I'm not sure. I really can't tell you the best build for this Pokemon, but this is a pretty cool starting off build. It's really solid. It has a lot of really good moves for supporting and just a really good support Pokemon in general. So that's going to be it for this build. We'll talk about our synergies real quick. So Togekiss I already touched on a little bit. Its typing is really solid. It just kills all fighting Pokemon that really threaten this Pokemon, things like Conkeldurr, and so on and so forth. And then Fake Tears helps it a lot. Parting Shot is good to keep our general bulk up a lot. And then I also have Tyranitar Excadrill here, just a good, those guys, that one, and that one. It's inverted, so everything's weird. But yeah, just another very aggressive form of Pokemon on your team that can really get a lot of mileage off Persian. You can also, if you're using Taunt on this Pokemon, you can deny Trick Room a lot of the time, which they appreciate not having Trick Room active. Parting Shot, keep things little, Fake Out. It's just like a very generic core of Pokemon that you can use with this Pokemon. That's going to be it for this slide. We'll talk about some speed tiers. So, we are quite fast. We're at 183, only being outsped by a couple of Pokemon that are not typically Scarfed, and one Scarf Pokemon there right above it. So, Whimsicott does outspeed us by 1, which is unfortunate. I think I said earlier that we are faster than Whimsicott. That's incorrect. Whimsicott will be outspeeding us by 1 point. Just 1 point, which sucks, but it is what it is. So yeah, Whimsicott's really good at outspeeds us, which is annoying too because Moonblast will outspeed us if it actually attacks with that. Next we have Tyranitar Scarf. You don't see this very frequently, so we'll, like 8 out of 10 times probably outspeed Tyranitar. However, Tyranitar Scarf is real. It is there. You just won't see it very frequently. Next we have Cinderace and Inteleon both outspeeding us, which is unfortunate, but neither of them really threaten too much super effective damage, although they are both pretty offensive powerhouses and can definitely take huge damage or OHKOs on this Pokemon. Next we have 178 Raichu that we outspeed, Durant we outspeed, Leopard, Lipard, however pronouncing, Charizard, Mimikyu, and Arcanine. All these Pokemon do outspeed you, or all these Pokemon we outspeed as persian-alola max speed, which is pretty cool. None of them are like, but like we have Lipard, which is Prankster. It's going to be outspeeding us with any of those Prankster moves. But other than that, we like outspeed everything, which is cool. Outspeed a lot of really good Pokemon. Alright, so that's going to be it for our speed tiers. I know I kept it brief. I also have the Dynamax, or the Calcs. I keep saying Dynamax. Damage Calcs. It's just D words. It's just 2 words that start with D. Anyway, so we kept this one very simple since we're just using support. Alolan Persian. So, first off, close combat from a Conkeldurr does OHKO, guaranteed OHKO. This is one of them that we just wanted the Focus Sash for. It feels really good to be able to live this. A lot of them are not running close combat anymore. They'll be like Drain Punch, Mach Punch, 2 coverage moves, things like Rock Slide or an Ice Punch or something like that. But I still think it's relevant to see that close combat does OHKO. Still something that like you'll see sometimes. We saw that a long time ago at the Dallas first place team. They ran 3 fighting moves: the close combat, Drain Punch, Mach Punch, and then Rock Slide. So I still think that's like relevant and definitely going to happen sometimes. Next we have Mach Punch from a Conkeldurr. Into us hits 36 to 43%. That's not that bad, but if you're at like that 60% death range, or you're at that like 40% death range, like be scared. Like it's going to come out and potentially just kill you. Next we have Dynamax Max Rockfall from the Tyranitar into our Alolan Persian. Has a 93.8% chance to OHKO. So once again, like Focus Sash, like we live it because of Focus Sash. And next we have Dynamaxed Togekiss. This is minimal investment. It hits 139 to 165. If it's max invested, it kills through Rosalie Berry. So that's another reason why I was like, all right, we'll just use Focus Sash. Like I started off this build with Rosalie Berry, and I was like, all right, this is good. But I still think Focus Sash is probably optimal, but I'm not entirely sure. And this build is definitely really rough. Like you'll definitely want to, if you want to use this Pokemon, test a couple of different things and really come up with what suits your team correctly. Next we have the Rhyperior Max Rockfall Weakness Policy proc. The Tyranitar was Weakness Policy proc, by the way. I don't know if I said that. But Rhyperior Weakness Policy proc Max Rockfall into our persian-alola is a guaranteed OHKO as well. Focus Sash up, and boom, we livin'. Yeah. That's going to be it for Damage Calcs. We'll talk about our single spotlight real quick, and then I'll get out of your hair. So, I like this Pokemon in singles. It's pretty cool. It saw some really cool play before with Z Crystals. However, now we don't have those. So, I changed it to Life Orb. It's probably not the best item. Like, sorry. I feel like I'm very uneducated on this Pokemon, and I feel like you can definitely come up with some better spreads and some better sets. So if you do actually do that, like if you think about anything different that you would do differently, comment it down below. I want to know, because this Pokemon is really cool and I think it's really promising. But yeah, for single spotlight, we have the nasty plot parting shot variant where you nasty plot up, you get into a really good position. You can bring this Pokemon out against a lot of physical attackers because of Fur Coat giving you a lot of physical defense, and you can just bring this Pokemon into a lot of good scenarios and then nasty plot up when they're repositioning or just doing very little damage, and then you're able to start sweeping with Dark Pulse and Thunderbolt. And then we also have parting shot to be able to get us out of there. We're really fast, so we can like hit a lot of things before that. Other than that, the build is very similar with the 252 into speed, and then instead of the HP, we've just put into special attacks, since now we're actually attacking with this Pokemon. And maybe the item should just be like Focus Sash or something, but I just went with Life Orb just to get max damage out of this Pokemon as possible. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like that guy, or actually, sorry, right there too. If you like either of them, they're the same. But if you like it, like this video and subscribe. And if you like this kind of content, like this video and subscribe. If you want to see guides in the future in any Pokemon in or teams in future guides / battle videos, comment them down below. Give me content. I'm just kidding, but I can come up with some, but like you probably won't like them because they're all like boring and bland. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. That's it. I'm done with the 10-minute outros. This one was only like a minute. Bye.